Hello everyone, welcome back to a Spurs by COYS YouTube video. Today I've got an updated version of the player audit that I did a couple weeks ago. I think the last one I did was just after we signed Senesi and Robertson, so it's pretty updated. On my screen now I've got my original prediction from, as I said, just after we signed them, but I've got the newer updated version and then a potential lineup that we could see, and it kind of maps out the squad, which is quite handy to see as well. Before I get into it, please do go down, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It means the world to me. Anyway, let's get straight into it. Basically, I'll show you the current. This was at the end of last season. I put on there if I predict that they're going to leave or not. Basuma, obviously, he's gone. Romero's more than likely gone. Dragishin, Vicario. The two loans ended yesterday at the time of recording this as well for João Palhinha and Kona Mawani. And then, yeah, you can just see, I mean, I put Solomon on there as well, but who gives a shit about Solomon, let's be honest. And then my prediction after that was that we were going to see, well, I still think Pat Matassar's going to leave, but on the original one I kept him on there just because I was kind of 50-50 on it. I've since kind of changed my mind on that because, I mean, yeah, as you can see, I predicted Van Hecke, but if we move on to the next one, Tonali and Fernandes have just been announced. Fernandes, the announcement's come out. Tonali's basically announcing himself. He's got the press all up in his face saying, yeah, I chose Tottenham because of De Zerbi. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I'm over the moon. I did not think we were going to get either of them over the line, and here we are with both of them. I mean, nearly 200 million spent on both of them. That's our midfield completely revamped. We needed that. And alongside that as well is... they were saying, I've just seen reports saying that Bergvall has been told he's not leaving, which is interesting because the midfield is very packed. And the other thing as well is we're looking at Kroupy Jr., which I'm over the moon with. I think he's an amazing player. But we're looking for a left forward, implying him, and also potentially someone to give Richarlison and Solanke some, someone to push them on, so a third striker, essentially, is what I'm getting at. I don't understand that. Because if you look here at the non-homegrown, we're going to have to sign another homegrown player if we bring anyone in. But, I mean, strikers are already difficult enough to find. Or someone that is under 21. But, again, you're not really going to find someone. I know Kroupy can kind of play up front, but he's more being talked about as a left forward. But we're also talking about Rafael Leao and... who was the other one that I saw earlier? Leao and... God, my mind's gone blank. Anyway, Savinho, obviously Savinho. But if we brought either of them in, that means we're going to have to shift two players on. Who are we shifting on? Matisse Tell, maybe? I could see that being an option because, I mean, he did play a lot under De Zerbi than last season, but I thought he was quite good at the end of last season, but... I mean, if you're going to bring in Kroupy Jr., there's not really any space for Tell. I mean, Audit, I still think's better than Tell. So I could see Matisse Tell being moved on. Obviously, Audit can't even leave anyway because he's done his ACL. He's not gonna. No club's gonna sign him. So maybe it would be Matisse Tell out the door to bring in a Leao or a Savinho. But then the bit that confuses me is Richarlison, because why on earth are we keeping him if he's got 1 year left on his deal? Might as well just sell him and get some money for him, and then bring in a different striker, because that's a like for like, and then nobody's complaining because you're getting money for Richarlison and he's pretty whack anyway. He's not very good, is he? Let's be honest. But De Zerbi obviously has him in his plans. I mean, if it works, it works. I'm just really confused about the midfield, to be honest, as well, because Archie Gray, Bergvall, Gallagher, Matheus Fernandes, Rodrigo Bentancur, Sandro Tonali. That's a packed midfield. James Maddison, Xavi Simons. I mean, I'm just struggling to think of where they all get minutes, to be honest, especially when we're playing one game a week. One game a week, Tottenham, because we're not in Europe. Where are we fitting all these minutes in? Bergvall's obviously expressed that he wants to leave because he wants to go 5 minutes elsewhere. He doesn't feel like he's going to get minutes here, but we're not letting him. I'm happy with that because I want to keep Bergvall, but I mean, you're really stunting his progression if we're being honest. Anyway, yeah, that kind of shows that we've literally, as of right now, unless we sell anyone, we've only got rooms for under 21s. I should have put Will Lancashire there as well, realistically, because he's being promoted to the first squad, isn't he? And also Janai Byfield, but he's on the next page, you'll see. And then we've got room for one homegrown player, so we need to move, I'd say, two one or two more players on. And if you're looking at it, I mean, the only two that make sense to me are Matisse Tell and Richarlison. Again, you can't get rid of Audit or Xavi Simons, and I don't think you get rid of them, either of them anyway. I mean, Kulusevski, God knows what's even happening with him. Kudus is obviously going to be our starting right winger. Maybe Bentancur, but De Zerbi seems to like Bentancur. And then obviously you got Mickey van der Ven, who are trying to get signed a new contract. Porro signed a new contract. Udogie, obviously. The one thing, Udogie, I'm very glad about this actually. De Zerbi said that he is in his plans. He is. We're going to be playing Udogie, which is good. The one thing that I did see is that we could potentially be getting rid of Jed Spence, but that doesn't solve any problems for us. Jed Spence is brilliant. Left, right back cover. He can play both sides. He's homegrown, and he is a profile that we don't really have in the squad in terms of he's good at defending. Porro and Udogie, I'd say, are more attacking fullbacks. You know, Robertson is an all right defending fullback. Again, I see him as a flying wing back, although he's getting old. But I still see him as an attacking fullback. Jed Spence is the only fullback in our squad that is actually kind of specialises in one-on-one, and not that actually is quite hard for me to say as well, because he's also pretty good at going forward as well. So I have no idea why on earth we'd be looking to move on Jed Spence. I don't think that solves any problems. But yeah, I mean, if you're looking at it, the only ones that I can really assume that makes sense to get rid of are Matisse Tell and Richarlison. Tell, because it feels like every transfer window he kind of says like, oh no, I want to leave, I want to get more minutes, I want to be the starter somewhere. And I think he deserves it. I think we should just try and move him on. He's young, might get a bit of cash for him. And then Richarlison as well. I mean, might as well just get cash from him while we can. Hey, De Zerbi has a plan. This is the interesting page here. I've got what I kind of predict our starting lineup to be. At the start, like first game next season. That's if we get Krupi as well. That's the iffy one. But this is what I predict our starting lineup to actually look like. But then I've also put in yellow the depth that we have for the rest of the season. So obviously Kinski announced as our new number one, signed a new contract. I'm chuffed with that. I said in numerous videos before, I think he should be our number one. I think we should just give him a new contract. He should be our number one. I think he proved himself at the end of last season. His mentality has been incredible to change it around from that Atletico Madrid performance. So yeah, I'm over the moon with that. Porro obviously signed a new contract. Van Hecker and Van der Ven, I mean, that's obviously going to be our starting partnership, isn't it? I mean, even if I don't see Romero staying at all, but I don't think De Zerbi's going to have time for Romero anymore with how hot-headed he gets, how you know he's very indecisive about playing, that is, because whether he can play for Argentina, then he's going to go get injured, isn't he? So I think Van Hecker and Van der Ven are the starting defenders, and you got Senesi as backup, but they can also play in a three-back together. Byfield, because we've obviously sold Vuskovic now, which, I mean, yeah, whatever. But then Danso again, great central centre-back, can cover Van der Ven or Van Hecker. He can play on either side. Obviously, he's stronger on the right, but I've put him here because these two are also stronger on the right. So I think Danso there. Udogie and Robertson, again, I've said Udogie's going to be the starting fullback. That's what Roberto De Zerbi said. Robertson, again, I don't even know how many minutes he'll get, if he'll even be fit for half these games. I should also actually put Ben Davies here as well, because he did sign a new contract for another year. So, but Davies can also play left back as well. And then Spence can also cover left back. I think Byfield can also play right back as well. So we've got a lot of cover in defence. Defence is not a problem. And now, in the last video, I was a bit worried about the midfield cover, but now I'm not, because obviously Tonali coming in and Fernandes coming in. Now, I've seen a lot of speculation on Twitter about Fernandes, saying that he's more of a 10. I mean, he's played, you know, a bit further back for West Ham all season. He did play 10 a couple times for Southampton, to my knowledge, but again, I think he was mainly kind of sitting back. Not like sitting back, but he wasn't the out-and-out 10. But even if he was, I mean, I still think we'll deploy him there, because we've got too many people that can play in the 10. Maddison, obviously, he can't play deeper. That's not a Maddison role. Xavi Simons as well. Kulusevski, I mean, after this knee injury, I don't think he's going to be playing on the wing at all, because I think he'll have lost most of his explosiveness. So I think he'll only really be effective in the 10. And then Bergval's an interesting one. I'm actually going to move him up there, because he said himself that he thinks he's more of an 8 than a 10. I mean, if you look at that, that is just incredible depth for the midfield as well, isn't it? I mean, I've also put Gallagher there. I did say in my last video, I don't think you'll see Gallagher and Tonali playing at the same time, because they're not dissimilar profiles. They're not similar, but they're not dissimilar. So I think it would be more of a case of Gallagher comes on to close a game out when Tonali's tired or whatever it is. But that starting midfield is one of the best in the league, especially when you get Xavi back from his ACL. That is such an incredible midfield. Again, we've spent a lot of money there, but you've got to do that if you want to compete these days. People will mock it and make fun of it, but that's what you've got to do if you want to compete. And if we can push on for third next season, I mean, if we get Krupi and push for the title, whatever it is, if we can push from finishing 17th twice to then, getting Champions League or whatever it is, then we've done the right thing by spending money. And we deserve to spend money because we've been so reluctant to spend in recent years. I mean, since I've been a Spurs fan, we've been reluctant to spend big money or bring big players in. So we deserve this. We need this. It's a step in the right direction as well. I don't care about the fees that we've paid for these two. I think we needed them. We got them. Simple as that. We beat United to Fernandes. We beat City and Arsenal to Tonali. End of story. They're our players now, and they're going to be brilliant for us next season. They're Prem proven. Fernandes is still young. 21, isn't he? Still young. So, that's always good. And I've just realised, actually, Fernandes might be homegrown. Let me check. Is Mateus Fernandes homegrown? Not considered homegrown because he was at Sporting just before Southampton, wasn't it? See, the interesting part to me is 21. Does he count as an under 21? I've put him there anyway because, I mean, whatever. In the last thing, I put him there. But I could be wrong. He could be an important under 21. I'll have to double check that and put it in the comments. But yeah, that's an incredible start in the field, if you ask me. But then you look forward. I mean, Kudus, brilliant. Solanke, I'm a Solanke lover. It is what it is. And Krupi, I mean, we have to sign a left winger, whether it's Krupi or Leao or Savinho. We have to get someone in. And it's looking like we're willing to spend 100 million on Krupi. So, there's that. But yeah, I mean, I think that's incredibly strong. Audit, obviously, when he comes back from his ACL. Xavi can also play on the left wing. Tell, if he stays, can play left or right. And we've seen Richarlison play on the wing. I mean, he's terrible on the wing, but we've seen it. So I think now, if you do bring in a Krupi and a striker, and then Savinho, I reckon it's 3 more signings we need, to be honest. Shift 2 people on and get 3 signings in. And I think we're fit and firing. I think we have one of the best squads in the league. Not the best like Arsenal and City. Obviously, I think Liverpool, United, not United anymore, actually. Liverpool, Arsenal, City. You could make an argument for Chelsea if they have a good summer as well. I think they'll all have better squads than us going into the season. But we're back where we need to be with this squad. That's the main thing. And I am just really excited now. I mean, it was difficult glooming about the Vuskovic, the Bergvall stuff and all that stuff. But then when you bring in 2 big names like that, it shows that we've got a plan and we're going in the right direction. So it's really difficult to not get excited. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to talk about in this video, kind of cover everything. I just wanted to map everything out for myself, and I thought, why not make a video about it? Simple as that. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this one, leave a comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Hope you guys have a good... Enjoy the World Cup. I'm loving it at the moment. England beat Dr. Congo last night. Genuinely, Harry Kane is the best footballer I've ever seen. I could not believe it. Come on, England, bring it home for us. But yeah, enjoy the World Cup, lads. Catch you in the next one.